The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Farmers Bank and Capital Trust, Kentucky Utilities, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with Rick Panel. Great to have you back I know you battled a little bit of that sinus infection everybody's had. I tell you what, everybody's been sick, you know?
They have, but I'm glad to be back. Thank you, Gary.
Great to have you back. We got another great show, 30 minutes of high school sports here, the fastest minutes in 30 minutes of high school sports, we call it here. First up, Franklin County will be with us, Coach Tony Wise, and boy, he has a fine young team there, and he does a great job.
You know, he really does. He's got a young team, but they're balanced with ages across the board, and I think it's going to be a good team this year.
You know, Diablo Stewart's pretty good. He averages about 25 points a game. Not bad for a sophomore.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. Also, our feature is on a young lady. A lot of people that watch us on WYMT and Hazard know this young lady. She's Kendall Noble, and she was an all-state player at Breathitt County. Now she's at Western Kentucky University. Where are they now type of thing? You know what I'm saying? You know, we had her on the show, and now where are they now? Well, she's at Western Kentucky University, and she was the Conference USA Player of the Year last year.
And in my understanding, she's averaging a triple-double?
Well, close to it. She's definitely got a double-double.
Impressive.
And our scholar athletes, Walker Lee from Franklin County. Boy, we certainly appreciate Coach for bringing us a scholar in.
He's a smart young man, 3.9 GPA.
People always say, how do you get on the Scholastic Ball Report? Well, that's one way right there.
That's
Make
right.
a 3.9 grade point average
That's right.
in the classroom. We also have another great Sutherland Chevrolet drive of the week as we head down 27 to Nicholasville, Kentucky, and Sutherland Chevrolet. Also, Jenny DeAngelis is here. She's from UK Sports Medicine. First time on the show. How about that?
I know. When she brought those things in, it kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, the braces. I know. We'll talk about that. And Elizabeth Lyons, our intern, is in. Also, Joe Hurt and Brantley Akey as well. They'll help us talk to the scholar athletes. So all that coming up. And you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention real quick. On the wrap of the show, we're going to introduce a new young fellow to the show that I think Central Kentucky is going to be really enamored with.
It's going to be an interesting thing, and we'll discuss that at the end of the show.
And he happens to be related to you, too.
Very possibly.
Very possibly related to Rick Panel. All that coming up, but let's get to the best highlights in the state of Kentucky as we go all over the state with high school basketball. These highlights brought to you by P-Rats. Think outside the corporate black box.
And on the boys' side, we start with Lexington Catholic and Dunbar. The defending state champions in Dunbar already with a pair of wins over city opponents this season. And tonight facing a Catholic squad which has dropped 3 straight. Dogs leading 32-25 at the half. We pick it up in the third quarter. Off the inbounds pass, Catholic's Luke Johnson in traffic, turns and scores. He finished with 17, Dunbar by 5. At the other end, Dunbar's Jared Gadd drives a sweet off-balance shot. Gadd with 10. Tavion Hollingsworth, you've heard of him, I'm sure, takes it the length of the court, pulls up in the lane. Hollingsworth had 30. Kids on fire this year. Dunbar runs away with this one. 79-62 is your final score. Over at Henry Clay, the Blue Devils begin their 11th season under Daniel Brown. Brown has put together a challenging schedule, and tonight the Devils hosting Louisville Eastern. The Eagles, is that Santa Claus? No, not Santa Claus. Chris Kringle in disguise, not really. In the third, Justin Mitchell for the Blue Devils. Pretty turnaround, Jay. Devils down 6. Trailed by as many as 11. Quentin Jackson cuts the lead to 3. Then Jackson again. It's part of the Jackson 6, right? There's Jacksons all over the place. That Jackson wears 5. Yeah, with the kiss. Henry Clay to within 1, but Eastern wins at 55-53. The Blue Devils miss a shot at the end of the game that would have won it.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball, Rick Panel, our team of the week, Franklin County. Thanks to Bob Roberts Insurance out in Richmond, Kentucky. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky, thanks to Bob Roberts Insurance. And speaking of this great state of Kentucky, from our state capital, the Franklin County Flyers. Coach Wise, always great to have you on the show. It's been a while, and when I was sitting down planning out the show, I always think, who do I need to get on, what county, and so forth, and immediately you came to mind.
Well, I'm glad I did. You know, we've known each other for a while, so it's glad to be back.
Yeah, you're my broadcast teammate sometimes. When your Flyers aren't playing in the regional tournament, you're my broadcast teammate. You know, you're puppies now when I talk about your team, youthful team, but some of them have grown up now in pivotal roles for your team, especially your point guard.
You know, they have. You know, we started a couple years ago. You know, Diablo started as an 8th grader. Ryan saw a lot of playing time as a sophomore. We've had several other kids that we've worked in the program that are very young, very talented. And so, you know, the thing that that we try not to get caught up in as a staff is it's easy to get frustrated with young kids, but you can't get them game experience. They just have to get it by suiting up every night and going at it.
And there's nothing like that can really formulate game experience. You know what I'm saying? Practice is one thing. That's why Allen Iverson says practice. We're talking about practice. But game speed is a different thing, isn't it, Coach?
Well, two things on that. One, Allen Iverson, we don't have that because they better come to practice, and I'm not paying them. And secondly, you make a great point. You can't emulate the speed of, you know, we play in the 11th region. You can't emulate the speed and the power and the strength of the teams that we play against.
That's right.
And you know, it's very difficult to do that. But you know, game experience is invaluable.
Coach, how about these two young men, Diablo and Ryan? I know they mean a whole lot to your ball club.
They do. You know, they're two very different personalities. You know, Diablo's kind of the fiery, I'm going to get in your face, you need to do this better. Very competitive kid. You know, he does not like to lose at anything. Ryan is the kid that doesn't say a whole lot, but he leads by example. You know, he does a lot of little things for us, kind of the unsung hero. So they're both very valuable in their own way, but two very different personalities.
I love that combination.
Yeah, I do too.
That's
I do
great.
too. Ryan, how would you characterize this team if you tried to sum it up and maybe the season up to this point for us?
We're a real athletic team. Love getting up and down the court, you know, and we are good at shooting 3-pointers, you know. We got a good 3-point.
So you like to get out in transition is what you're telling me. Okay, I like it.
And Diablo, how about yourself?
I think he was making a little plug to get more shots. Is what I got.
Yeah, that's right. Diablo, distributed.
That's right. Diablo, how about yourself? You've had a great start to your season. You're averaging almost 25 points a game at the point guard. You know, what do you contribute your success to?
My teammates, I have the best teammates in the state. They're unselfish. They're really unselfish. Let's get that.
That's
then our coaches staying on me, staying on us about the little things, and just keeping us on track, making sure our grades are stayed and stuff.
Diablo, is he related to Princess?
Brother, sister.
Brother, sister. Didn't his sister just commit to Xavier?
She did.
Well, that's a good pick.
Oh,
that's a great pick, Xavier University.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good academic institution up there in Cincinnati. I know it well. Coach, tell us about the district that you're in. I mean, everybody talks about the 43rd, but your district is pretty well loaded too. It's tough to get out of that district.
It is. You know, we're in a different district because all of our schools, you know, even minus Frankfurt, that's a small 1A school. We all have about 800 to 1,000 kids, which is about half of what Lexington has. But our district is very competitive. We have proven the last 2 years, we've been very fortunate to win the district. One is the 4th seed, one is the 3 seed. So, our goal is always the #1 seed so we can get that extra day off if you can win the semifinal. So it's very competitive and tough to get out.
Well, we're looking forward to talking to Mr. Lee, too, your scholar. Thank you guys. We're out of time, but appreciate you coming on the show and keep up the great work there at Franklin County High School.
Thank you.
Appreciate
That's
it.
the
Thank
Flyers. They're off to a great start. Now we're going to this feature on Kendall Noble, the outstanding player from the Mountains, who's now at Western Kentucky University.
Kendall Noble's journey from Perry County Central Lady Commodore to Western Kentucky Hilltopper has been pretty typical. There have been ups and there have been downs.
It's been up and down, I guess, like a lot of people's college careers,
However, the downs have been pretty significant. Noble has had to overcome not one,
but then the unthinkable for Perry Central. Kendall Noble goes down with a knee injury,
but 2 torn ACLs in her career, the second coming just 2 games into her freshman season.
Well, we have some bad news to report out of Bowling Green. WYMT has learned former Perry Central guard Kendall Noble is out for the remainder of the season at Western Kentucky.
Depressing. I'm pretty sure I was depressed, but I knew I could come back from it. I just didn't know if I would be able to, I don't know, play to the level of like college, you know, because I mean high school and college is a totally different level, but turned out good.
Good would be an understatement for the path that she has since followed. The following year, Noble was named Sun Belt Freshman of the Year and was named Second Team All-Conference. Sophomore year, Second Team All-Conference USA, Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, and National Defensive Player of the Year finalist. But Noble saved her best performance to date for her junior season, specifically the night of January 23rd versus Charlotte.
And then later, Noble gets things going, drives it in, scores. Kendall Noble finished with 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists.
The first triple-double in program history, and the first of 2 triple-doubles on the season for Noble, who would once again be named the conference's top defensive player, and also its best player, earning Player of the Year honors. Not just satisfied with reaching the top, this Hilltopper aims to climb even higher. In Bowling Green, Josh McKinney.
Hello, welcome back to the Scholastic Ball Report. We have Walker Lee from Franklin County. Walker, you've got a 3.9. How do you excel in both the classroom and on the court?
Yeah, you know, my mom, she puts real emphasis on school before athletics.
And Coach, what does it mean to have a player like Walker who takes academics so seriously?
Well, anybody that knows Walker knows that you know, he's a student first, an athlete second, and you know, he's one of those kids you just know that's going to be successful. His mom, and like you mentioned, his dad's sounding pretty hard about his academics, so I don't have to ever worry about being ineligible, so that's an advantage for me.
Yeah. And Walker, you talked about your mom motivating you. Is there anyone else who motivates you to help you succeed in the classroom?
Yeah, you know, mom and dad, grandparents, they're all real supportive, and you know, if I ever need anything, they're always there for me.
It's nice to have.
Coach, talk about like this Franklin County team and the leadership that Walker has.
You know, Walker's not if he's not in class, he's not very vocal. Now, if he's in class, you know, he has a tendency to talk a little bit too much. But Walker's a kid that leads by example. You know, he's not a very vocal leader. I have a special place in my heart for Walker just because he loves golf, and I have a golf partner from June through, you know, August till we start basketball. So, but he's a great part of of what we're trying to do down there, and you know, he's just a real talented kid on and off the court.
Walker, tell me about this. You do Beta Club, French Club, National Honor Society, Y Club. Tell me, like, what do you get out of all these clubs? How do you balance it?
It's just a lot of time, you know, before school, after school, coming in early, staying late, just a lot of time nobody else has to put in, you got to put in.
And we have this plaque courtesy of Crown Trophy for you, and we're going to throw it to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Let us show you this week's Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week in front of a packed house. Paris and Bourbon and the visiting Greyhounds get the steal. Eric Johnson gets the pick, and then not only gets the steal, he is rewarded with the basket at the other end. The Greyhounds would lead by 2 at that point, and Paris would go on to get the 66-60 win. Congratulations, Eric Johnson. That is the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Back in on my intern Elizabeth Lyons out of Boyle County, Gary Ball and Jenny DeAngelis. Thank you for first time on the Scholastic Ball Report. We've been having a lot of that this year, but we enjoy new folks here on the show.
I'm glad to be here.
You know, you are in the clinic there. What are your duties and your job duties there? And also, tell us what a typical day is like there in the clinic.
I wish I could tell you that there was a typical day, but it's pretty much, I just kind of wait. We do all the preoperative and postoperative bracing for them, all the custom braces that you kind of see here. Just go from room to room. Anytime the doctor kind of puts an order in, I'm right there behind them getting what they need and making sure everything's taken care of for them.
What type of degree do you need to be able to do what you do?
We prefer you to be a certified athletic trainer or a certified orthotic fitter. Basically, the duties require you to kind of have a little bit of an anatomical background to be able to explain to the patients what we're doing and why we're doing it. That is pretty much the main focus of why you put something on them. You want to make sure that they are compliant and that they wear it and that they know what it's doing, so they can kind of benefit themselves through the whole rehabilitation process.
And as I look at these braces here, Jenny, I see Don Joy. That's obviously one of the big producers
yes,
of that.
So that is who I work for.
Right.
We're a contracted employee through UK, so we basically, I sit in the clinic all day. We use our products. The doctors prescribe our products, and it kind of takes a little bit of the load off their back. So we're doing all the billing, but we're getting our products out the door as well. So
I've heard nothing but great things about Don Joy from a lot of the folks
it's good to hear. So
over the years.
What are the different types of braces you all have, and what are they typically used for?
Okay, so the main ones that we do, they'll get a post-op brace if they have knee surgeries or shoulder surgeries. When they come out of the knee post-operative brace, they'll typically get into one of these. These are the ones that you usually see on TV. That's the ones that they play in.
Right.
The two main ones, if you think about all the linemen, if you look at UK, for example, this is a Defiance. So this is our custom brace, lifetime warranty on it. They will get measured for this, and it is good for the lifetime of the brace. So this is the one that's, I guess, the famous brace that you see. These are a couple other ones that we've come out with. So this is our new one. It's a titanium-based knee brace. It's an A22. This is the one that usually goes on your specialty players, quarterbacks, the ones that need to be a little more agile.
Right.
And then this is actually an osteoarthritis brace. So any type of knee pain that they're having, arthritic issues, this really helps decrease a lot of their symptoms and allows them to push off surgery a little bit. And
great stuff. Thank you very much, Jenny. There's the phone number and the walk-in clinic there at the UK Sports Medicines every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. right there at the great location, Harrodsburg Road. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks.
Good stuff about knee braces. Now let's go to these final highlights of high school basketball. These highlights brought to you by PrepSpin, the best digital network in the state of Kentucky. PrepSpin.
Franklin County and Woodford County. Hey, Tony, look at that manicured beard. That's good. It's good. Jackets attack the glass. Trevor White misses. Keegan Stromberg tries to get the tip. Malik Richards comes in for the tough follow and the foul. Richards would try it again, and Franklin's Anthony Valentine, Capricorn, says, heck no. The icy stare from the senior. And then the other side, Flyers, Diablo Stewart misses, and here comes the Samurai. Valentine rebounded, put back, but Woodford County would prevail 47-44. Over at Tates Creek, the Lady Commodores hosting Estill County. Check out the warm-ups worn by Tates Creek twins Latea and Nave Wynn, twin 1, twin 2. That's pretty cool. Taking on Estill County, first quarter, nice ball movement, leads to a wide open three from Kaylee Treadway. Engineers out to an early 8-point lead. Tates Creek wants a timeout. Lady Doors get on the board. Lauren Baker to blow by for the layup. Estill County, the Lady Nears 52-31 winners. Scott County off to a 4-0 start this year. Tonight hosting Boyle County. Late first half, Boyle's Emmy Harris gets the layup to drop back the other way. Scott County quickly inside to Lauren Beam. Beam puts it in off the glass. These three plays started or finished in the last 20 seconds. How about Michaela Baker with a soft putback right there? And then Scott County's Peyton Riddle, she had another good night. She had 29 the other night. Scott County by 32, 98-65.
And we're back on the wrap to wrap it up here. Gary Ball with Rick Panel and Parker Panel. And the reason Parker's here is we're going to start a new segment on the show. I think you're going to love it. This young man has just a little bit of personality, Mr. P over there, Ricky P. Parker, and tell us what we're going to be doing, what you're going to be doing on the show.
Well, I'm going to be talking to just athletes and coaches and just do funny stuff and interview the players and see what they're up to this year.
What's going on with them?
Yep.
Break it down for us. And he might even, you never know. I mean, you love the pool. He might be in the pool
You know,
somewhere.
Gary, we're going to have him on the hardwood. We may have him on the gridiron. We may have him in the swimming pool.
In the swimming pool.
We don't know.
You never know with this young guy. It's going to be a new segment. We're going to start it next week, I believe, guys.
That's right.
I guess so.
And we've got a couple of great ideas for a guest with the, well, we'll come up with a great title for the show, but we do know this. The young fellow will be out and about everywhere.
That's right.
I will.
And as always, on the Scholastic Ball Report, for those you see and those you don't see.
Keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Farmers Bank and Capital Trust, Kentucky Utilities, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.